weather's bad, economy bad. The political environment has deteriorated like the weather. Never has a sitting president been spoken of in the manner that President Obama and his family have had to endure. Not just by the birthers and right-wing zealots, but those in high places, people with great influence, have spoken against him in a manner that has never been accorded to even the worst of America's white presidents. They have called President Obama a racist, an anti-Semite, a socialist, a communist, a foreigner, an alien, and they've even called him a terrorist. Now, I'm going to take a few minutes now to show you and tell you some of the things that highly influential people are saying about our brother. I'm going to start with presidential candidate Newt Gingrich. He said Obama's policies are a very serious threat to our way of life. Now that's deep. He said the secular socialist machine represents as great a threat to America as Nazi Germany or the Soviet Union once did. Now you think with me, Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, he described the president before his election as, quote, light-skinned with no Negro dialect unless he wanted to have one. A Jewish Republican Congressman Eric Cantor of Virginia said, quote, in an effort to ingratiate our country with the Arab world, this administration has shown a troubling eagerness to undercut our allies and friends. He said that the dispute jeopardizes America's national security. Now, they're not talking about you or me. They're talking about the president that most of us voted to elect. Congresswoman Ileana Ros-Lehtinen, a leading Republican on the Foreign Affairs Committee, said the Obama administration undermines both our allies and the peace process while encouraging the enemies of America and Israel alike. Now, I want you to catch this one. Kansas Speaker of the House, Mike O'Neill, he forwarded an email to fellow lawmakers that call Mrs. Obama Mrs. Yo Mama, and included a photo comparing her to the Grinch. He referred to President Obama in a Bible verse, Psalms 109, 8th verse. I want to quote the verse, but the whole chapter is what he sent. Let his days be few, and let another take his office. May his children be fatherless, and his wife a widow. May his children be wandering beggars. May they be driven from their ruined homes. May a creditor seize all that he has, and may strangers plunder the fruits of his labor. May no one extend kindness to him or take pity on his fatherless children. Now, this Speaker of the House forwarded this prayer with his own message. Now listen to his message to those he forwarded this prayer to. He said, "At last I can honestly voice a biblical prayer for our president." He asked those he sent the email to, look it up. It is word for word. So let us all bow our heads and say, brothers and sisters, can I get an amen? Amen. Now, these white folks, not little dumb people from the backwoods of Mississippi. These are people with influence. I haven't started yet. United States Representative Jim Sensenbrenner, a Republican of Wisconsin, told church members at a Christmas bazaar that our First Lady has a big butt. Now, have you ever heard them say about any president's wife, that one has a butt like an ironing board? That means it's quite flat and shapeless. And I guess everybody in America wants a butt like black people. Otherwise, the Brazilian butt wouldn't be on television showing you how to shape your rump. Can I get a witness? Amen. Marilyn Davenport, member of the Orange County, California Republican Central Committee, resigned after she forwarded an email in which President Obama's face is superimposed on a chimpanzee. Now you would think this is from senseless, stupid, uninformed, ignorant white folk. But this is from the group that has been voted into political power. I'm going on. Minnesota State Senator Mike Perry, a GOP Senate candidate, was found to have scrubbed several tweets from his Twitter account, including one that described Obama as a power-hungry, arrogant black man. He said, "My opinion is that our president is arrogant and angry. The fact is that he's a black man." Now, all you have to do to be arrogant is just stand your ground. All you have to do to be called angry is to say, "I disagree." See, they have a slave master mentality. And they don't recognize that slavery is over, baby. And you're going to have to get used to black people angry, peaceful, beautiful. However we present ourselves to you, you're going to have to accept it or deal with it. Former President Bill Clinton, after playing the saxophone to get our vote, was talking to the late Senator Ted Kennedy. And listen to what he said. This is while his wife was running against him, against President Obama, for the nomination of the Democratic Party. He said a few years ago, this guy Obama would have been getting us coffee. Clinton also called Obama's run for the White House as the biggest fairy tale I've ever seen. U.S. Representative Lynn Jenkins, Republican from Kansas, told a public forum, Republicans are struggling right now to find the great white hope. Obama has really got them upset. And the Republicans now are looking for some white person, anybody, anybody. Arlington, Tennessee Mayor Russ Wiseman called Obama a Muslim president. Ask the man if he believes that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, and he will give you a 10-minute dissertation about it when the answer should simply be yes. It wouldn't make no difference to you if he said yes. You still call him a Muslim, though he's told you over and over again that he's a Christian. Well, President, you might as well come on and join us there. You really would get something done then. A Tea Party official, Dr. David McCallum, St. Petersburg neurosurgeon, president, Pinellas County Medical Association, sent out an email with the image of President Obama as an African witch doctor dressed in a loincloth with a bone through his nose, and underneath the picture were the words, "Obamacare coming soon to a clinic near you." Even Glenn Beck joined, calling President Obama a racist. I'm going on. Florida Republican leader David Stork forwarded an email written by GOP volunteer Ron Whitley that said, "I see carloads of black Obama supporters coming from the inner city to cast their votes for Obama. This is their chance to get a black president, and they seem to care little that he is at minimum socialist and probably Marxist in his core beliefs. After all, he's black. No experience or accomplishments, but he's black." Now look at all these Republicans that are running for the president. See? What experience do they have? What, you don't care. They're white. So to hell with you. If we want to vote for a brother because he's black, that's our business. We've been voting for you for as long as we've had the privilege to vote. It's an honor for us to vote for one of our own kind. On sale at the Republican Party's booth at the Evergreen State Fair in Washington, D.C. Brother, move it quickly, a $3 bill with Obama on it, dressed in a Muslim headdress. You got it? Don't be slow. Stay up with me. One man from the GOP convention sold a button asking, if Obama is president, will we still call it the White House? You mean a black man living there has made you think that black people have taken the country from you? You're really sick. But they're getting worse. Yeah, a young Republican vice chairman. Why isn't this thing changing? Well, thank you. Keep up with me. Don't mind me if I don't have patience. A young Republican Vice Chairman Audra Shea, after a friend declared Obama bin Laden is the new terrorist. Muslims are on their side. We need to take this country back from all these mad coons and illegals. On Shea's Facebook wall, Shea responded 8 minutes later, "You tell him, Eric, lots of love." Dean Gross, the mayor of Los Alamitos, California, sent an email showing a watermelon patch growing on the White House lawn and the caption, "No Easter egg hunt this year." He resigned and claimed that he was unaware of the racial stereotype that black people like watermelons. Rick Santorum, the guy that's running close with Romney, he was confronted by a questioner who said, "I never refer to Obama as President Obama because legally he is not. He constantly says that our Constitution is passé, and he ignores it, as you know, and does what he darn well pleases. He is an avowed Muslim. And my question is, why isn't something being done to get him out of government? He has no legal right to be calling himself president." Instead of checking her, Santorum responded, "Well, look, I'm doing my best to get him out of government right now. And you're right about how he uniformly ignores the Constitution. He did this with these appointments over the recess that was not a recess. And if I was in the United States Senate, I would be drawing the line." Okay, now let's look at some of the images. I might have to send a FOI back there. Oh, thank you. You know, FOI still carries a lot of weight, you know. Yeah. Now, this is the New Yorker magazine. Do you remember it? Now, that's our sister Michelle with a heavy afro with military clothes on and an AK-47 and bullets over her shoulder, greeting her husband, Barack Hussein Obama, with a picture behind the two of them of Osama bin Laden. Now, this is a New York magazine put out by Jewish people. I'm not anti-Semitic, I'm just telling the truth. Next, please. Now, look at this. Radical leaders prey on the fearful and naive. National Socialism, Adolf Hitler, Marxist, socialism, I think that may be Lenin. And in the middle, Barack Obama. Then they have a poster in Israel with Obama displayed in downtown Jerusalem, dressed in a Palestinian kufiya headdress, and calls him an anti-Semitic Jew hater. This is in Jerusalem. Now, where's the next one? Where's the birth certificate? The zoo has an African lion, and the White House has a lion African. I mean, I'm taking my time with this because I want you to see what climate is being built up in America for our brother. Okay, thank you. Next. Obama, in the Globe paper, Obama born in Africa. In that same Globe paper, Michelle breaks down over Obama gay scandal. You see it? Now, you haven't seen all of these things put together like this. I'm putting it together for a reason. And if I were you all, if you don't have no place to go, go back and sit down. Because I'm not playing with us today, and I need your attention because you may not hear from me too much longer. The wise understand. Now, let's keep moving. They got the brother riding in a limousine that's called the Beast. It's the most armored vehicle of any president. I want to ask a question. Why is it that some Jewish people must link every black man of strength with Adolf Hitler? Mayor Koch in New York called me the new Hitler. Anybody that speaks out against misconduct or unfair treatment by members of the Jewish community, instead of dealing with the truth of what we say, you label the person an anti-Semitic, and the stronger they are, you call them Hitler. Now they're doing it to President Obama. Look at that picture. That's your president. Now, I didn't do that. I'm not an artist. Look at President Obama with a Hitler mustache and hairdo. Now, listen, if you were Jewish and somebody painted the president of the United States as Hitler, what would be in your heart for the president knowing what Hitler did to the Jewish people? This is about the lowest that a man can get, to take that brother and paint him with a swastika or a mustache to make him look like Hitler. Well, you may say that these are just some silly individuals. And what I would challenge the press, see, I notice how when you rape our women, white people do, they say, oh, he was drunk and he was horsing around. You love to make excuses for your people. But I intend today to close the door on excuses. Because if you join wrong, then the punishment that comes to the wrong and you support it, you die with them. Are you threatening us? Yes. There's never been a messenger of God that delivered a message that wasn't accompanied by a threat. It ain't me. I'm just telling you what God is about to do. Now look, despite Obama talking about Israel, look, listen to his words. I and my administration have made the security of Israel a priority. It's why we've increased cooperation between our militaries to unprecedented levels. It's why we're making our most advanced technologies available to our Israeli allies. And it's why, despite tough fiscal times, we've increased foreign military financing to record levels. Now that's Obama talking at AIPAC. Hard to get him to a black affair to say kind words to us and encourage us in our struggle. But he went to AIPAC like the rest of them, on their knees, groveling to the Zionists. All right, I'm coming here. Despite Obama's unqualified statement of unwavering support for Israel and Zionism, the owner of the Atlanta Jewish Times, Andrew Adler, wrote just a few weeks ago that Israel should consider giving the go-ahead for U.S.-based Mossad agents to take out a president deemed unfriendly to Israel. In order for the current vice president to take his place and forcefully dictate that the United States policy includes its helping the Jewish state obliterate its enemies. Then Adler wrote this. Yes, you read correctly. Order a hit on a president in order to preserve Israel's existence. Did you hear about that? How many of you heard about that? Raise your hands. Oh, that's a small number of you. Now, when I say something, they make sure everybody knows if it's negative. Farrakhan, the anti-Semite, Farrakhan, the hater, Farrakhan, the this. Why the hell didn't the media tell you what that man said about killing our brother in the White House? Talk back to me. It's because they protect their own, regardless to the evil of their people.